Perfect. Okay, and I'm assuming you guys can see my screen, so I'm going to move forward. Hey, Chris, can you just let me know if you can see my screen since you're already chatting with me? Yep, cool. Okay, everyone, thank you very much. Let me get started. So today's session, I'm going to be covering the power of Facebook Live, specifically for real estate agents, how you guys can leverage this technology. So what we're going to cover today is we're going to cover why would you use it, like why even consider using Facebook Live. I'm also going to show you all the tools that I use to make it work. I'm going to give you some ideas as to if you're a real estate agent, how would you use it? Oh, let me just mute whoever is unmuted. All right. I'm assuming you can still hear me. Sorry about that. There was some feedback, and I didn't want that happening the whole time. Okay, I'm going to start over. Today, I'm going to be covering Facebook Live with you guys. So I'm going to be showing you guys step-by-step Facebook Live, how you can leverage it in your business as a real estate agent. And today, we're going to cover the different topics. So I'm going to cover why would you use it as a real estate agent. I'm also going to show you the tools that I use to make it happen. I'm going to give you the ideas behind if you are a real estate agent, what could you do Facebook Live with? And I'm going to do a demonstration showing you from a computer and from a phone, from beginning to end, how to make Facebook Live work. And then I'm also going to give you guys a download. It's a Facebook Live checklist because there's kind of a lot of moving parts. And if you have a checklist, it will just make it easier for you. So I've already pre-typed out the checklist. I'm going to get all of our coaching members, they're going to get a copy of that. So starting off, I'm going to say, why would you even want to use Facebook Live? Well, you definitely want to use Facebook Live because Facebook is prioritizing and promoting live video right now. So there's no other piece of content that you can create and share on Facebook that will get as much exposure as a Facebook Live video. I mean, you could share a YouTube link, so you're blue in the face, and what do you think Facebook is going to show on your friend's wall? The YouTube link that you shared or Facebook Live? It also notifies your friends the entire time that you're live. So when you're running a live video, any of your friends who happen to log on or check Facebook at that time, they get notified about it. So there's a little trick here. Commonly, people think with video, the shorter the better. So 30 seconds or 60 seconds is like the sweet spot. Not with Facebook Live. With Facebook Live, the longer the video, the better. And the reason for that is because the entire time you're airing it live, it's notifying all those people. So if you're on it for 5 minutes or 10 minutes or a half hour, all the people that check Facebook within that half hour are getting notified about it. So the longer your video is, the better it will perform. And Facebook Live is the easiest way to make and upload video. So there's no easier way to do it. I mean, video is really holding a lot of people back because of the time it takes to set up. You got to type up a script. You have to have proper lighting, gear. You have to then edit the video because you made all these mistakes, and that prevents people from actually posting the video to begin with. Whereas with Facebook, it's live, it's raw, there's no editing, and that's the beautiful part about it is that there is no editing. And because it's Facebook Live, people can appreciate if you kind of stumble your way forward. It doesn't have to be a Hollywood production, it's a Facebook Live. So it's the easiest way for you to get video online. If you're new with video, Facebook Live is going to be the easiest way. It also generates a higher engagement. So if you post a picture of something or you did a Facebook Live about the same topic, I'm assuming that the Facebook Live you would see would get more engagement, more comments, more likes, more shares, that sort of thing. So this is why you would want to use Facebook Live specifically. And ultimately, at the end of the day, it's going to lead to more sales and more referrals because you're building mind share of who you are and what you do. It also creates content that you could repurpose. So if you created a Facebook Live, you could then repurpose that and turn that live video into a blog, or you could turn that live video into a piece of downloadable content. You could definitely repurpose these videos in the future. So that's one of the other benefits to using video is that there's other ways you can use it. You can strip out the audio and create a podcast. You could take the audio from the video and transcribe it to write a blog or an article. So video gives you a lot of leverage. Now, before I get into the tools that you need, I don't want people to get overwhelmed with tools that you need thinking they have to run out and buy everything. You've already got what you need. You've got a smartphone. If you're in real estate, you've got a smartphone. So that is all you need. That is the only tool you need, a smartphone. Now, I'm going to share with you a couple of the other tools that I do like to use. This one in particular, it's called the iRig Mic Lav. And you've seen those lapel microphones that people clip onto their shirts. What's cool about this one is they have a 2-pack where you get 2 of them in one package. And what's cool about it is that they plug into one another and then plug in directly into your phone. So when you do a live video, you can't do any editing. So what's neat about this is if I was interviewing a person, we each could have the lapel mic, and it would take 2 audio sources and stream it into your phone and then broadcast it live. So there's no editing. So I really like this one. Now, people kind of think they look goofy with the lapel mic on their shirt, but I'm telling you, there is no cheaper source of good quality audio than a lapel mic. Now, if you do want to, this isn't even stepping it up, but for me, this is what I use. I use a Bluetooth headset. That's what I'm wearing right now to do this webinar with you guys. It's universal. I spent so much money on microphones. They're big, they're clunky, they're not portable. For me, I'm always on the go. And so this is like a microphone that is always facing my mouth. So if I turn my head, if I'm running through, like showing a property or wherever I am, this will be with me. So I like it because it's wireless. It's Plantronics is the headset brand that I'm using, and this is the particular one that I have on my head right now. It's not cheap. It's $120. If anything, the lapel microphone is going to work for most of you. Now, if you are using video, it's very important that your video is stable. So I really like this. It's a very universal tool. It's the Grip Tight one. It's $29. You can see how it's holding the phone, and it's magnetic. So you can stick it onto the fridge, or you could stick it onto a pole outside. It also wraps around things. So if there's a branch, you're in the backyard talking about a property, you could wrap it around the branch. You could stand it up as a tripod in the living room on top of the fireplace, or you could even hold it and use it as a selfie stick. So it's a very inexpensive piece of equipment that is very, very versatile that you can use in a lot of scenarios. And this one in particular holds your phone. So they have these for cameras, but you have to buy an adapter so that'll actually hold your phone. This one actually comes with everything that you need, and it's $29. Speaking of tripods, sometimes you need a higher elevation, so you don't want to be looking down at the camera. And if that's the case, you want to get a tripod. So I did some research. I found this. For $15, you can get a tripod and a remote control camera shutter. So you know when you hit record on your camera, you have to walk up to it and hit record. Then you have to walk back to where you're standing to actually stand where you want. Well, with this remote, you can actually have the camera set in place. You could be 5 feet away, hit the button, and it will start the recording process for you. So this is $15. This is a sale right now at Walmart. This is walmart.com. So this is $15 US. But that's like a amazing deal to get a bag, a tripod, and a remote shutter for that price. Really, really worth it, in my opinion. Now, if you do like the idea of the remote shutter and you've already got everything else, this is the remote shutter that I use, HISY. And they're $24 roughly, depending where you're buying it from. And again, you could just hit it once and it will take pictures, or you could hit it again and it will do video. And I like it so that I'm not having to walk 10 feet to hit record and then walk back, and it records all my setup time. So it's just like start, stop, very fluid. If you're walking around doing a Facebook Live and you're holding the camera, it is very, 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 very distracting if the camera is bouncing around. You can almost make people like almost nauseous. So if you plan on doing a lot of walkthrough tours, then you might want to consider something like this, but don't do it your first time around, because this is like a cheap version of $100, and they range from $100 to like $200, maybe $300 for these things. So this one is the Osmo, DJI Osmo. Your phone will it'll work with most phones. and it holds it stable. So while you're walking around, its electronic motor will keep it balanced and level. And so if you're doing a lot of walkthrough tours, then get it. But I would say your first walkthrough tour, you can just use that tripod that I showed you and hold that. Let me go back. This one here. You could just use that as a handle and walk through with that and just really try and keep yourself stable. Once you've done a couple walkthrough videos and you're like, yeah, I like this, I could totally see myself doing more of that, then go ahead and invest in one of these things. But I'd say you don't need it at the beginning, only if you know that this is the direction that you're heading. It's not only just from your phone. You can also do Facebook Live from a computer. And so this is the webcam that I would suggest to that. It's optimized for streaming. It's the Logitech C922 Pro Stream. So if you just search that, you can buy it on Amazon or wherever you buy stuff. And this one is reasonably priced. Webcams can range from $20 to like a couple $100. This one's $80 US, and it's a pretty good price, especially because it's optimized for streaming live. Now, if you do want to get a camera for live streaming, there's no better camera than this one by Mevo. It's not cheap. It's like $400 to $800 for this camera. So I have this one, so I use this. The reason why I like it is because you see how small it is? It's literally like the size of a plum. It is a little tiny, tiny thing. And so when I'm at a conference, for example, I could put this up at the front of the room and it won't be intrusive to the people in the room. And it's actually eight cameras in one. So it looks like one lens. But if you actually look on it from the back end, you can pre-program all the different camera angles. So you could say, I want the stage, I want the screen, I want where the presenter is standing, I want an audience shot. Because the thing with Facebook Live is that you can't edit the video. It's just a live video. But with this tool, the Mevo, you can edit the video as it's happening. So you can change between camera 1 and camera 2, and you can zoom out and zoom in, and you can pan, and you can follow people, and you can do all this cool stuff. It's really neat. I use it a lot. I'd say most agents don't need it, but if you do plan on doing a lot of Facebook Live, I definitely suggest this because it adds a dynamic. It's dynamic, so the video will actually edit. So see on the screenshot, it's got the 3 different people. So while you're interviewing these 3 different people, you can have it on autopilot where it will automatically cycle between the different cameras, like based on who's talking, and it follows their faces around and everything. So really, really cool tool, really expensive also. If you need a microphone, which I'd say most of you just don't, just try it, fail your way forward, and then over time, if you're like, yeah, I am going to do a lot of these, I want better audio quality, Blue Microphones is where it's at. It's a USB microphone. The Yeti, I wonder if I can zoom in. So the Yeti over here, it's $149. That's what most of the podcasters are using. But I'd say for you guys, you could probably just stick with the Snowball. It's nice and compact, and it's a good price, and the audio quality will be decent enough for what you're using. And then because you can't edit your video, it just is a live stream, sometimes you want to download that video and then edit it later for repurposing. If you want to use video editing software and you don't know what to use, I suggest this, Filmora, F-I-L-M-O-R-A. Filmora is the main tool that the YouTube stars are using right now for creating and posting their video. It's intuitive, it's easy. I say it's easy because I'm good at technology. It might be hard for you, but if this is hard for you, then all the other video editing software is going to be hard for you as well. Like Adobe Premiere, you basically have to go to university to learn how to use the thing. So Filmora, it's pretty simplified, and it does all the things that you're going to need it to, and it's a really cool product. Now, let's give you guys some ideas for real estate agents. Have you ever done an open house and had nobody show up to it? I mean, I know I have. So if I'm doing an open house and I got some idle time and there's nobody around and I have permission from the sellers, why not do a Facebook Live where I could set up in the kitchen, or I could do a walkthrough, or I could be in the backyard and just answering questions. So you could do a Facebook Live directly from an open house, either showcasing the open house itself, or you could be covering another topic. My very first Facebook Live video that I ever did was an office meeting that I went to. I had to go to an office meeting and I had to present something. And so there was only 20 people at the head office meeting, and I Facebook Lived it. And by the end of that hour, I ended up collecting 300 emails. So if I had just gone to the office meeting and done the office meeting, I would have collected 20 emails, just the people that were in the room. But I Facebook Lived it, and I said, anybody who's on the interweb, if you want to get a copy of what we're up to, just comment below with your email or private message me. And over 300 people sent me their email. It was awesome. So if you have any office meetings, you could live stream those. It could give the opportunity for other agents at other brokerages to get a taste of who you are and what you do. Even your team, if you're a real estate agent, you could do your team meeting. Just be careful with what you're sharing, I guess. Speaking of teams, I would do a welcome to the team. So if we hired a brand new agent onto our team, I would do a Facebook Live and interview that person. Say, where'd you come from? Why did you join the team? What did you do before real estate? Why do you like real estate? Why are you serving this area? And I would do like a little interview with those people. And because you're doing a Facebook Live between you and that other person, now you have two audiences that are going to be notified about the Facebook Live. So you could tag the people in that. If you're an individual agent and you don't have a team, well, you do have a team. What about your front desk admin? What about your the people at your office, like your answering service and all that sort of thing? So you do have a team, so you could interview those people as well. You could even interview your manager, for example, talking about that. Also, a part of your team would be your vendors, your lawyer, your photographer, your home stager. So why don't you do a Q&A with each of them and then broadcast that? And now your database, your sphere of influence, and their sphere of influence are all seeing both of you. So it's like a total win-win. And a sneak peek of exclusive listings, that'd be really exciting, especially in hotter markets where listings are selling. If you could do an exclusive listing. It's, hey guys, this listing's coming soon. It is not on the MLS yet. And if you want to book a showing on this or take a look before it does, because there's going to be multiple offers, blah, 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 this is what it's got. And then you would rhyme through all the things that it's got. So exclusive listings and a sneak peek, people like that, like a behind the scenes type of view. You could also feature the area that you work. So the different neighborhoods, for example. You could go to the park, or you could go to the corner establishment of whatever is prominent in that area. Like, why do people live, work, and play in that area? You could do a Facebook Live of you standing in that area and answer questions, talk about upcoming events, do whatever you do. Also, local businesses. So in your area is local businesses, the bakery, the salon, the auto mechanic. So you could use this as an opportunity to build and grow your database by introducing yourself to these businesses and say, hey, I want to do a Facebook Live featuring your business, and we're just going to talk about who you are, where you came from, why you're here, and what you do for the community. And then Facebook Live it. And now you've added another person into your database. You've got a relationship with them. You've created some content that is share-worthy from their perspective. So total win-win. Now, this is the checklist that I want to give you guys. So starting off is you have to promote things in advance. So if I know I want to do a live stream tomorrow at 2 o'clock, I would promote that today or the week before, and I would be notifying people of who, what, where, when. So the date, the time, the topic, and why they'd want to tune into it. It just gives you content to share. It's like repurposing before it even happened. You want to pre-write the headline and the description with a call to action. So when you go live, it's going to ask you for a headline, it's going to ask you for a description. Well, when you're actually doing it and you're clamoring, you're just doing it for the first time, you're going to type something random, like from your phone. I would pre-type it from a computer and put real thought into it so that it leads into whatever the call to action is. So make sure that you include a call to action. You're also going to want to make sure that you're connected to Wi-Fi because it streams better when you're on Wi-Fi than when you're on your cell network. You want to make sure that your phone is on a full charge as well. Hold on a second. You want to make sure that your phone is on a full charge, especially if you're streaming through your phone, because there's nothing worse than that red bar of disaster, showing you that the phone is going to die. And speaking of phones, you want to turn your phone on to do not disturb. So you can put your phone on silent, but if you're streaming through your phone, even though you can't hear the phone calls, you'll still see them on your phone, and that is really going to interrupt the data transmission of the video being streamed. So there's an option on your iPhone and there's an option on your Android for do not disturb. For me personally, it's a picture of a moon. I just have to click that on. And then any phone calls and text message, I won't even know about them until I take it off do not disturb. And that will allow me to stream without any interruptions. You're also going to want to secure the space ahead of time and let others know to be quiet. Because it's Facebook Live, you do not want your toddler walking by buck naked or something, you know what I mean? So if you're doing Facebook Live, just make sure the rest of the people in your space, either in your office or at your home or wherever you are, let them know that it's live and not editable, meaning people are just going to see and hear them. So tell people, give them a heads up. If you need a mic or a microphone, if you need a mic or lighting, make sure to gather all that stuff up ahead of time. So think about it. If you're going to be in an outdoor environment, then you definitely want to use the lapel microphone because it's going to reduce that wind noise. If you're in a really dark space and you know you're going to be in a dark space, maybe you should bring some extra lighting. So just kind of think about those things and have them on hand if needed. And because you're kind of winging it live, you want to have an intro, an outro, and a call to action. So have a purpose for the video, have an intro, have an outro, and have a call to action. So know what those three things are. You can fill in the blanks in between, but you definitely got to know what that is. So for me personally, I just head over to a Word document or a notepad, and I'll type up my intro, outro, and call to action, and I'll pre-read it before I go live just to jog my memory. So there was a question. Not a question. That's the truth about the kid. Totally. Okay, next part of the Facebook Live checklist is when you're done doing the recording, it gives you an option on your phone to upload in HD. You definitely want to check that off. It's not defaulted to being turned on. And so you will be very disappointed with all the time and effort and energy that you put into this amazing Facebook Live, and it is just crap quality. It happened to me. I did a Facebook Live just a couple days ago for an event, and for some reason it didn't upload in HD, even though I hit the button. I swear I hit the button. And now everybody who watched it, it's been watched over 1,000 times, and it got 15 people to come to an event that I'm putting on. So it was still worth it. I mean, people couldn't see the detail of my freckles because it wasn't HD. I'm a blurry face. But if you're doing an upload, as soon as you're done, you definitely want to check off HD because you'll be disappointed that the quality isn't there when all you have to do is check off a button. On your phone, it also gives you the option to download a copy of it, and I suggest that you do. That way you have a backup in case something happens during the processing part. So make a copy of it. You can delete the copy to free up memory on your phone, but I would save a copy just to be on the safe side. That way if something does happen, you could just upload the video later. So make sure to check off the box. Go back to the live stream and answer any questions and like any of the comments. So if a person actually took the time to comment on your live stream, you should take the time to engage in them back because they're doing you a favor by commenting and liking and sharing. So express that appreciation. And then you can share the recording in related groups. So so for me personally, if it was something I did talking about helping real estate agents, I could then take that link on Facebook and share it in other Facebook groups that are intended on helping real estate agents. But for you, maybe there's a community group, so you could share the link in there. So you can take these links and then share them into other groups and with other people. That makes sense. And if another person or place is involved in the video, so say I'm doing an interview with the bakery, I would add that person as a friend. I would tag them in the video, and I would tag their bakery. so that people can link to it. So make sure to tag all the appropriate things, the people and the places. And then obviously you want to repurpose the content. So now that you've got this video, think about it. How can you reuse that? Can it be a blog post? Can you use it on a landing page? Can you transcribe the audio and put it into a book or an ebook? So these live videos, it's not like a one-shot deal. You can repurpose it over and over and over again. If you are going to be doing something like that, I would suggest you outsource it. I outsource on Upwork.com or Fiverr. So I would hire a couple different people on Upwork, for example. I would send them the video and I would say, transcribe this and write a blog post. And maybe I hire 3 different people and 2 of them are no good, but 1 of them is amazing. Awesome. I'll pay all 3 people, but now I have somebody who is writing blogs for me based on my videos. So this is an example of before I go live, I want to share about that like the day before or the week before. So say I know I'm going live tomorrow at 2 o'clock. I posted this. It says, save the date. We're going live tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Comment interested, and we'll post the link once live. The topic is on paying off your mortgage like a boss with Dan Wood Coaching. And then this picture that you see, it says save the date with the Facebook icon. You guys are, all the coaching members are going to get a copy of that image. So now you can use that. And just whenever you plan on doing a Facebook Live, re-leverage it, repurpose it, and promote it before it even happens. It just gives you fresh content, right? So there you go. That's something I would do. And then here's an example of me. I had to zoom in, so it's not the greatest photo. But okay, I want to point out a couple things. See my camera, sorry, see my laptop, it's down here. Where do you think the camera is built on that laptop? Right there. So where is it looking? It's probably looking up at my chest and up my nose, which is not a flattering look. So instead, I'm using this external webcam, and because I wanted it to be at eye level, I use this tripod. Now, notice my ear. I have that Bluetooth earpiece in because I didn't want the lapel mic on my shirt. I just think it looks, I mean, this looks goofy too. I'm not going to kid. This thing looks pretty stupid. But I'd rather that than the lapel. So anyways, I got that. That's what I'm using as my microphone. I'm going over my intro, my outro, and the call to action. And look at this piece of paper taped at the camera. So I know you can't read it because it's on the other side, but I bullet pointed all the main points that I want to cover on that Facebook Live. And that way, while I'm looking into the camera, because that's their perspective, that's their eyeball, so I want to look into their eyes. I don't want to be looking down at my paper. So while I'm looking into their eye, if I'm at a loss or need to bring things back, I'll just scan my eyes down and be like, oh yeah, talk about that. Oh yeah, talk about that. So I pre-type it, you can handwrite it, do whatever you do, but that is a great way for you to keep yourself on track in case you find yourself veering left and right. Now, I'm going to show you how to go live from a smartphone. So this is going to be like a step-by-step tutorial, and you could play along with this video after I record it. So on the left is a screenshot from my mobile phone. And you'll see whenever you're posting photos, there's an option that says live. So you're going to want to click that live button. Once you do, it gives you a preview. So this is it in the preview mode. Under the preview mode, you're going to want to change the settings to public. Right now, it will default it to only you, which, by the way, is great. If you want to experiment the first time, you could do a Facebook Live and nobody will see it if you have it set to only you. And that's a great way for you to kind of fail your way forward and go through the whole process as a dry run before you do it live and kind of embarrass yourself. So if you want to go live and you want people to actually see it, you're going to want to click the change this so that it is set to public. Then underneath that, you're going to want to type up a description. So when you're doing it from your phone, you're going to be quick and dirty with it, remember? But I told you you should pre-type it. That way you have like a reason for it, and you have a call to action, and you've got all your contact info, and you've got everything typed out properly. So I would have that so that I could just copy and paste and put it in there. And then you want to tag the appropriate people or pages. So if you're doing this with another person, you could tag them. If you're doing it with another place, like an establishment, you can tag their page. So you can tag the people or pages that are involved in whatever your Facebook Live is about. And then when you're ready, you can click on the little start button at the bottom. It says Start Live Video. Now, once you're live, you know you're live because there's a big red warning up at the top, and it actually shows you live. So when it says live, it is live. Everybody is seeing you and hearing you. So if you make a mistake, if you swear, if you do something, it's live. There's no editing that out. The only thing you can do is delete the video. So when it's live, be aware it's live. Down at the bottom gives you some options. There's some filters. You can play with them. I don't really use those. But this option right here looks like a camera with a recycling wheel. That allows you to flip the camera. So when you're walking through a property, you can be doing like a selfie and then click on that button at the bottom left and it will switch to your other camera and show like the living room that you're talking about, and then you can flip back to you and you can go back and forth. There's a little lightning button. This is pretty cool. When the camera is facing you and you can see yourself in the camera and you're live, when you click on that, it's going to make the screen brighter. And the reason for that is because it's almost like a flash. It adds more light to your face. So if you're in a really dark space and the lighting isn't good, hit that button and it's going to help out a little bit. Not like amazing, not as well as you actually getting a proper light, but in a pinch, it could help you out. Say you're showing a basement or something. If you were to flip the camera around and then hit that lightning bolt, it's actually going to use your camera's flash and just leave it turned on as like a spotlight. And then there's a chat feature. So as people are talking and joining, you can chat with them. So you can be like, hey, Marianne, thanks for joining me live. Let me know if you got any questions. So as people are joining live, you'll see them and you can shout them out, so verbally, or write in the chat, just tag their name and say, hey, Dan, thanks for joining. Got any questions? I'm here for you. Then, when you're done your video, you're going to click the Finish Video button. Now, you don't want to rush this next step. Once you finish the video, make sure that you turn on HD Upload. Really, really important. As a backup, click this little download arrow, and that will download a copy of the video to your phone. Once it's on Facebook and it's live and it's HD and you're happy with it, go ahead and delete it off your phone. But I would download it now as a backup plan in case something happens. Down at the bottom, it says defaults me only. Just make sure that's set to who you want to see it. Is it just you and you're testing? Leave it as that. If you want the whole world to see it, you can change it to public. Now, that's it. That's how you do a Facebook Live from your phone. Now, I'm going to do the same steps, but I'm going to show you how to do a Facebook Live from a computer. So I'm going to go to Facebook, and you'll see these arrows are pointing to an option that says Live Video. So just like when you make a status update, you can upload photos, you can upload video. One of the options says Live Video. So you're going to click on that from your computer. Then it's going to give you this preview. So that's me giving you the blue steel. I'm looking at you in the face. Now look over on the right. It says share to your timeline. So you can change the destinations of where you want to share it. You can add the description. So that's where I would copy and paste the description with the call to action, my contact information, and what the video is about. It will be defaulted to you only. So if you want to do a test run, leave it as that. If you want to actually broadcast live, you're going to change that to be public. You can change the camera. You can even share your screen, which is new, so I haven't done that. I'm going to do that in the future. And change the microphone. Make sure that it's actually using the right microphone, because if you're using a laptop, it might just use the microphone built into your laptop. But if you have like the Blue Yeti microphone, or if you're using the Bluetooth microphone like I do, you just want to make sure to select the correct microphone. You're going to give it a clean title, and then you're going to hit the Go Live button down at the bottom. So, how will you use it? These are my questions. Will you use it at open houses? Are you going to do your office meetings? Can you see an opportunity with interviewing your team members or people at your office? Vendor Q&A, so anybody who's in your system and your sphere of network who help the buyers and sellers and investors with the process. Exclusive listings, maybe even a just sold. Say, oh, that's a good one. Say you had a just sold and it had multiple offers. Say you had 6 offers on the property, one person won, they bought the house. That means there's 5 other buyers in that area. So if that's the case, I would stand out front of that house and say, hey guys and gals, it's Danny Wood here at ABC Realty. We just sold another one at 123 Street. We actually had 6 offers and one person won. So that means there's 5 other people directly looking in this neighborhood. So if you know anybody who's thinking of selling in the Glenwoods area, then let me know. Message us. We can connect with them, see if any of the other buyers would be a good fit for them. If nothing else, we'll help them determine what their home's value is. We're always here for you. Something like that. So you could do like a live video, and then once that live video is on your business page, you could boost that video in the neighborhood of where that listing is. So I'm just thinking out loud. That's kind of like a high-level thought. I may have lost a couple of people, but there's one person who heard that, and they're like, oh my God, yeah, I could totally do that. So I hope that's you. I really appreciate you guys being with me. I want to stick around. If you have questions, I'm here for you. But that is basically how you use Facebook Live. So let me open up the question box chat. You're giving us pearls. Thanks, Dan. Thanks, Dan. Thanks. Awesome. Cool. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. I hope I made up for the last webinar that I did. Nothing worse than breaking your car and having a crappy webinar. Okay, well, I don't see any other questions coming in. So I am going to record this. Monday night is usually when I update the group. So I'm going to post our next date, time, and topic. Anybody who's watching this that isn't a part of the group coaching call, reach out to me. I'll show you how to get on these live calls and access to all the past sessions. When this video will be available. This video is going to be available most likely Monday night, and you'll get an email. Perfect. Cool, cool, cool. Okay, so I'm just going to end it. Anybody who's in the middle of typing a question, if I hang up and you're in mid-conversation, just message me, whatever it is, and I'll get back to you. Thanks, everyone.
Hey, if you want to close more real estate transactions, get more buyer leads, and get more seller leads, click this button right here. It'll take you to our real estate group coaching page. Also, if you like this video and want more, you can subscribe by pressing this, or you can check out some of my past videos here. Enjoy!